He's busy somewhere. So the Black Rebels with 33 points in position number 4. Then, yes, please.
It seems we have, as usual, a problem with the broadcast. There is no sound in the broadcast, so people can't hear you.
Okay, no problem. So I'll sit here and do the same thing again in 10 minutes. This is a whisper. Do we have sound now? So, another Thursday night, the sound is back. I'm starting my spiel again. It's the STC, the Sim Racing Team Challenge. This is your friendly voice, Eckhard von Glan, calling to you from the north of Germany. And we have 8 minutes to go before event number 2 here at sunny, virtual Portimao, Autodromo Internacional do Algarve in Portimao in Portugal. Sitting right in a tourist area, I've been told, next to beautiful beaches. It's a brand new track. It's the second season of the race, and a few facts here on the track. It's 4.6 kilometers long. It's pretty much uphill, downhill again. Some of the turns are really interesting because you can't see the apex as you go into the turn, because the apex is just behind a little dip in the track, and there's huge runoff areas, which makes it ideal for especially long distance races. It's very popular also with the bikers who stage a lot of races here, but there's also Formula 1 testing, and Le Mans Series has been around here too. Well, the standings so far after the first race, but before I come to the standings, I must say hello to the man sitting at the all-important buttons and hopefully pressing the right buttons, José Estrada. Welcome, José.
Thanks, Eckhard. Hello. And hello, everybody.
Yep. And how is your Portuguese, José? Do you speak Portuguese as a Spanish guy?
Well, no, but I speak too close language to Portuguese. Spanish and Asturian, that is even closer, so I quite understand everything in Portuguese.
All right, you might then say good night to our, good evening to our viewers in Asturian, which is close to Portuguese.
No, I don't think I will do that.
Okay, maybe the Portuguese people get offended. Okay, anyway, here's the standings after the first race. We have a really tight, closely packed field here. The Roaring Pipes Maniacs in one with 49 points. They won the championship before, so they are hungry for their second title. Danielsson Motorsports were denied their first title in the last race last season, so they're in position 2 with 48 points, eager to take that first title home. Danielsson Motorsports 2, which is really fantastic. They're in third position with 36 points. Then the Black Rebels, who host this tournament, in position number 4 with 33 points. The defending champions, DHR Simcraft, in 5 with 32. Same amount of points for the Flat Out Racing and also for the Black Visor Motorsport. So we have 3 teams in 5. In 8 then, the team I hail from, the Blue Flag Racing, our motto, real life first, or move over. 31 points, I don't think would ever be so close to the DHR Simcraft all season. And then Project D from France in 9th with 27 points, and the Flat Out Club, the junior team of Flat Out, in 10th with 9 points. In 11, we have 3 teams that unfortunately scored 0 points in the first race, but hopefully will do better tonight. Amy Dagan, Course Online, the new team, and DHR Apex, the junior team of the champions. So that's your lineup for you, point-wise. But if we come to the qualification results, we must notice that RPM and Amy, unfortunately, were struck with a judge's decision that makes them start from the rear because they didn't sign in their drivers on time, so the race couldn't be properly prepared. So the Roaring Pipes Maniacs, who are fielding tonight Rami, Kaukola in the white car and Marcin, Skrzypczak in the black car, will start from the back of the field, as will Degreef, who are fielding Chris Feil with the black mirrors, and Ian Beach, fondly called Beachy, in the yellow or with the yellow mirrors. So you'll see these racers at the back of the grid. But who, you might ask, won the qualification? Well, it was Danielsson Motorsport Virtual and their racer Ludde Andersson, who came in at the amazing time of 1:42.75, just a trifle slower than his practice time, which was 1:42.727. But still a great time. There was only one other racer who managed to get below the 1:43 line, and that was Gregory Degreef of the Black Rebels. His clock stopped ticking at 1:42.812. Position number 3 then for the world champion in the WTCC tournament. That's Mr. Roland Ehnström, also for the Danielsson Motorsports. 4 for the Danielsson Motorsports 2 driver Robin Johansson. So Danielsson Motorsports grabbed 3 of the top 4 positions. Then we have Gaëten Legastelois of the Project D in 5, and the defending champions, DHR Simcraft in 6 and 7, Mikko Korkiakowski and Keith Barrett. Second of the Project D racers, Ludovic Kogotti in 8.
I have an update about that. Mikko Korkiakowski from DHR suffered a graphic crash or computer crash, not mini damage, as he said to race director David Garcia.
Oh no, will they be able to field the reserve in the warm-up, or is the warm-up already a closed session?
No, it was in the warm-up, so he won't be able to rejoin.
Oh, that's too bad, that's too bad. So that means everybody moves up in the grid 1 position, following position number 6, and just as in the last race, DHR Simcraft faced a race with only 1 car. In the last race, they lost one of the players pretty early on, and this time they lose one of the players in the warm-up. This is terrible. This is really terrible for DHR Simcraft. It means that they might probably even drop a little in the overall standings, because if you remember, they were on an equal standing with the Flat Out Racing and the Black Visor Motorsports, who are fielding great drivers tonight, so they might take a lot of points. Whoa, bad news that, but I was just approaching position number 9 on the grid, Peter Cole for the Danielsson Motorsports 2, and then finishing off the top 10, Lee Ross of the Flat Out Racing. So that's the top 10 for you. We'll do a rundown of the whole grid in the introduction lap, so that you can also see where the players between 11 and 23 are situated. This is a whisper. Are we on the track, Jose? Well, warm-up is winding down. It's only, let me check, 20 seconds before the race proper starts. We'll have the usual starting procedure. We'll have a 2-minute time bracket for players to join the grid. Then we'll have David Garcia in the pace car, setting the pace for the first lap. He will then move into the pit lane if everything is fine. We'll have his younger brother at the back of the field, Vicente Garcia. And he will then check from the rear if everything is correct there. And then the 2 BMW pace cars, flashing lights and all, will move into the pit lane, and that means that the pole sitter can set the pace, and as the players pass the start and finish line for the first time, the race will definitely begin. It's a downhill section to T1, so that's going to be really interesting, because the breakpoint there I don't know if you've played this circuit, but I feel that the breakpoints downhill in GTR Evo or can be quite difficult, especially with these rear-wheel simulated cars who tend to be quite nervous on the rear wheels, especially in downhill sections. But that might be just my non-too-professional view of the proceedings. So, race has officially started, which means players now have these 2 minutes to go on the track, and also David Garcia in the pace car has 2 minutes before he then collects the racers and leads them on the introduction lap. Many of the players have already joined the grid. Pole sitter still in the pits. Number 4, Robin Johansson, is the first of the top players who is out here on the grid. And that gives me a chance to put you in, give you some more information about the positions down the line. It's Blackvisor Motorsports in position number 10, Johannes Norberg. So that gives you the top 10 here after Mikko Korkiakowski had a graphics crash there in the warm-up, which unfortunately takes him out of the race for DHR Simcraft. Grid is filling up now. We have Marcin Skrzypczak bringing up the rear there for RPM because they were not allowed to take part in the qualification. Then we have the 2 Eni racers in the second to last and third to last position, and Rami Kaukola in the fourth to last position here, just as we are now about to commence the race. The race proper starts any second now. David Garcia should move to the front of the grid. This is a whisper to Jose. Which car are we following? Yeah, we can do a rundown of the grid if possible, so that people see the positions 11 to 20. So we are with the safety car here, David Garcia, leading the pack into turn 1. As you could see, it was a steep downhill approach to that turn 1. Then we have the pack here, Ludde Andersson for Danielsson Motorsports with the white banner in position number 2. Gregory Degreef for the Black Rebels, and that's the racer with the black banner in position number 3. Roland Ehnström for Danielsson Motorsports with the red banner in position 4. Robin Johansson for Danielsson Motorsports 2 with the, let me quickly check the color of his banner. Yes, his is the white banner. Then Gaëten Legastelois with the red mirrors for the Project D in the Celine Mustang. Then the sole surviving DHR Simcraft racer, Keith Barrett. Keith, we're rooting for you. The black mirrors for him. Ludovic Kogotti in position number 8, and he is sporting the blue mirrors. Peter Krull for the Danielsson Motorsport 2, sporting the green banner in 9. Lee Ross in 10, or well in 9 minus the pace car, for the flat-out racers. Then the first of the Blackvisor Motorsports, that's Johannes Norberg. Then we come to Teo Bubicic for DHR Apex in 12. Kevin Ledoux for the Black Rebels in 13. Christopher Larsson in 14 for the Blue Flag Racing, red banner. Massimo Martin for Course Racing in 15. Mikael Larsson in 16 for Blue Flag. Adam Shaw in 17 for Flat Out. Andy Roberts for the Flat Out Juniors in 18. Nigel Atkins for the Black Visor in 19. David Clark for the Flat Out Junior, already with a dented front, in 20. and Ryan Mortimer for DHR Apex in 21. I think we should go to the top of the grid now. First we must mention Flavio Borgna in 21. Bit of a confusion here on the grid as to where people are. I think we should go to the top of the grid for Jose to catch the start.
Yes, here we are, Eckert, following safety car now, again.
Brilliant. That's what I call perfect timing. And if I am not mistaken, we might stay out another lap. Let's see if David's moving to the pit lane here. So that means that it's up to Ludde Andersson now to lead the field to the start and finish line and to set the pace. And there we are. Race is off. Race 2 of the Sim Racing Team Challenge new season. Ludde Andersson approaching T1 in the Danielsson Motorsport Sport GT40. Down the hill into the brake zone. He's on the curbs and he just gets in before Gregory Degreef. And Andersson defending number 1 quite handsomely here, while Degreef is under huge pressure from Roland Ehnström. And a quick look there to the back of the grid. It looks as if everybody got off to a correct start. It looks as if everything worked out fine. Andersson in 1, Degreef in 2, and then Roland Ehnström in 3. And problems there for the Project D racer. Problems for Gaëten, Legastelois. He runs wide, and that he actually won 1 or 2 positions, and now he is down, but he's fighting back. Legastelois in 4. Legastelois in 4, followed by Keith Barrett, who has moved up a little for the defending champion DHR Simcraft, and he is under attack by the green car there by Robin Johansson for Danielsson Motorsport Team 2. So that is where the action is at this moment. But a problem there for Gregory Degreef. He rejoins the track. He has been off track, obviously. He's now in position number 4, which moves Legastelois up to 3. What an interesting first lap for Project D. Trouble there at first, and now Legastelois all of a sudden finds position 3 handed to him as Gregory Degreef suffers a little problem there and struck down to 4. This means that we have a double lead for Danielsson Motorsport Virtual. It's Ludde Andersson in 1 and it's Roland Ehnström in 2. And notice how different the lines they are that they take, and we know that Ehnström takes a line that is usually extremely good for the tires and the overall sustainability of the race speed. And now Ehnström is on the inside and he might make a move on Ludde Andersson, and he does. It's a change in position number 1 and 2. In one of the turns that we modded, you can see a big orange curve that isn't there in real life. So it's Ehnström in 1 and it's Ludde Andersson in 2. This might just point to a different strategy in the Danielsson Motorsports team. Might be that Ehnström is on a 2 pit stop strategy while Andersson is on a 1 pit stop strategy. Remember, we have a new tire model here in the mod, so we have a choice of 4 different makes of tire, whereas in GTR Evo you just can choose between your average tires, your intermediate and your rain. Here we also have soft and hard slicks. Following these 2, there's a battle there between Legastelois in 3 under a lot of pressure from Gregory Degreef. And I suppose it's only a matter of time before we see the black and green Corvette of the Black Rebels passing the blue, white and red Sully Mustang for the Project D. And Degreef there, moving out of Legastelois' virtual slipstream just as they approach T1, but he moves back in, so no chance for him to overtake I think they're countrymen, I'm not quite sure, but I suppose they're both French. But not quite sure though. Let's just say they're virtual racers and they're in different teams, so animosity rather than comradeship between these two. Legastelois in 3, Degreef in 4, and the Danielsson Motorsports can pull away. There's nothing like a gap here between number 2 and number 3. In fact, Legastelois, even under pressure from Degreef, can stick to his speed. So it looks as if this track is really good for those machines that put a lot of punch on the rear wheel, while they might be difficult in the turns, which is quite surprising. I would have thought this was a track much more suited to the rides that are easy in the turns and a bit sluggish on the straight. This is a whisper. Is David back with us in the broadcast? I've just been told that my whispers go live to the broadcast, so I have to refrain from whispers for the time being, and otherwise I tell all my dirty secrets here to José, which of course we usually do in the course of the broadcast. And so here's my question out in open. Our pilot of the pace car, David Garcia, is he with us in the broadcast already, back from the virtual pit lane, and to give us some information on the outlap?
No, he's not yet, Kat. I think
okay, what was your view?
He's talking to drive in the
Okay, okay. What was your view, José, of the first 2 or 3 turns? Everything nice and clean there?
Well, yeah, I think so. I think that there were more personal mistakes in the first lap than really forced mistakes or accidents.
Yep.
So yeah,
usual bad combination of virtual cold tires and a full tank, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Cold tires, you want to push, but you can't expect the response of the car. So it's always quite risky.
Yep. And as we're talking, we're of course following the action here. José, you must then, if we don't have the whisper system in place, because I was too stupid to change it, you must then tell me which car are we following on the screen, because as most of you should know by now, I don't have the same image that you have. I'm in the game and following the game directly, so to speak.
Well, we are in P4 with Gregory. That was the Project D car.
Yep. Brilliant, and we should move one up to Gaëten Legastelois, because I think he's making a move on Ludde Andersson now in the brake zone of T1. No, he isn't. But this is an outstanding battle here, very, very close, and we can see that, in fact, it might be that the DMS are on a different strategy here, both racers, because we see Roland Ehnström pulling away, while Andersson has a lot of work to do just to keep Gaëten Legastelois for the Project D behind. And now the attack by Legastelois on the inside of that turn here. Ooh, and he's trying to take a different line, but Andersson just stuck to his line, so Legastelois had to move very close to the inside. Yes, please. And that, of course, brings Gregory Degreef into a good position to attack here. Degreef in 4, don't forget, he dropped the place due to a small mistake in the handling of the Corvette, and now he's eager to reclaim that 3rd place. Oh, that was very close to a touch there by between Degreef and Legastelois, but I think they just very, very narrowly missed each other. And so Andersson now has a bit more quiet in the second half of this 4th lap, but this is a huge battle out here, folks. Really big one. And Legastelois, you can see how he tries to get onto the throttle as early as possible to take as much speed as possible out onto the more straightish parts. And this is in fact the start and finish race that they get on now. Up the hill first, then a bit straight on, and then down the hill. And even though these guys are fighting, and really close fighting, there's a gap behind them. Before we see them in the background there, Keith Barrick, the sole surviving DHR Simcraft racer, doing what he can to close the gap, obviously. No mean racer he, but these three are just so fast, even though they're fighting. It's absolutely amazing. And the battle's going on. We can see, well, just attacks in virtually every turn here. And that's what's so great about the Portuguese track we're following. It's full of interesting turns. It's uphill, it's downhill, so it offers a lot for the players. There's never an easy minute here. There's really, apart from the start and finish stretch, there's just no point where you can, and a touch there. Touched by Degreef on Legastelois, but Legastelois stays in control. Amazing racing here, amazing play. And now Degreef has passed. Degreef just squeezes past on the inside, but he's in a bad condition now to defend. No, he's on the inside now, sorry. I misread the track. He's in a perfect position to defend his hard-won third place. And he shows just a bit of lag on my screen. So that's difficult for Legastelois then to gauge exactly where is that virtual car. At least on my screen, Degreef has just a little bit of lag. But now I think Legastelois is in the virtual slipstream, and we might see an attack by him as they go into the brake zone. Nope, he doesn't, Degreef. Instead, Degreef stays in front, and Legastelois actually has... But now, as I say that, he is passed, but no, he isn't passed. Jeez, they're making the moves faster than I can speak. Absolutely breathtaking racing here. And Ludde Andersson, lucky chap, can put at least a little distance between his virtual ride and Gregory Degreef. Well, over from me to Jose. I will be back in half a minute. Have to fix that whisper problem on my desktop. So I'll be silent for the next half minute, and Jose, it's over to you.
Well, I think that the engine zone will be more interesting than what I will be able to say. So let's just enjoy it.
Okie dokie. So, problem seems to have been fixed, and I'm back with you. And I think now is a good time for our first famous rundown, so that especially the guys who haven't seen their team so much on the screen so far will see where their teammates are. Because I can see that Keith Barrick has, for example, dropped down, has to relinquish his position to Gregory Kaukola. So let's start with number one then, position number one. And here we have Roland Ehnström in 1 while you watch position number 6. Let me keep you updated on P1. It's Ehnström in 1 with what I would think is about 3 seconds advantage over his teammate. In 2, Ludde Andersson, second Danielsson Motorsport racer. In 3, as we have seen, Gregory Degreef for the Black Rebels. In 4, Gaëten Legastelois for the Project D. In 5, Ludovic Kogoti for the Project D, their second racer. And then in 6, Keith Barrick for DHR Simcraft, struggling like nothing on this downhill stretch here to get the power down in his virtual Porsche. And in 7, Lee Ross up from position number 10, position number 9 on the grid, so he must have a good first 5 or 6 laps. Lee Ross for the flat-out racing. In 8, Robin Johansson, down from position number 4 on the grid. He can't be too happy with the race so far. He's racing for the Danielsson Motorsport Team 2. In 9, Teo Bubicic for the DHR Apex in the extremely difficult to handle Aston Martin. That's not your racer that you find in the average GTR Evo game. That's the racer that you find here in the STC mod, which is exclusive for STC players and the broadcast. So that is just so difficult to get the power down as you go out of turns. My biggest, congratulations, so to speak, to the guys who dare take this car. It's Teo Bubicic for DHR Apex. Marcin Skrzypczak in 10. Remember, he was in, I think, 23 or 24 down on the grid at the start, and he's racing through the pack here already up to 10. He's followed by what has been called a hobbit of a car, Johannes Norberg, but just as we say, the hobbit is out in the sand. Johannes Norberg in the Ultima kit car, as I've been told by David Garcia last race. He's down to 12 now. And in 11 we find the second of the Black Rebels. The Black Rebels really seem to love this track. It's Kevin Ledoux, racing for the Black Rebels here in their beautiful Corvette. So, back to 12, Johannes Norberg in the red racer for the Black Visors, passing here somebody who has spun, one of the Amy chaps. Then we have the first of my 2 teammates, Christopher Larsson, in the red Blue Flag Racing BMW, with already a little dent on the right-hand side. 13, followed by 14, second of the Blue Flag Racers in the white edition of our racer, Mikael Larsson, no relation. Can't say that often enough. And he is busy defending against one of the fastest guys out there. In 15, Rami Kaukola in the white Roaring Pipes Maniacs Racers. And right now, Mikael has to go off track a little. And Rami Kaukola takes advantage of that and moves in position number 14. So 15 now for Mikael Larsson. In 16, Peter Kuhl for the Danielsson Motorsport Virtual Team 2 in the green BMW Z4. Adam Shaw, second of the flat-out racers in 17. Followed don't know about your screen, but I have a massive freeze on my screen.
Well, in ours it's fine, I can't.
Oh, brilliant. So it was just my screen. I was holding my breath here for 5 very long seconds. Sorry. Adam Shaw then in 17. And Massimo Martin for Core's Racing, our new team here in the orange Mosler Core team from Italy. They hail. Massimo Martin in 18. Then in 19, second of the Black Visors, Nigel Atkins. Look at that Union Jack on their intake there, on the roof. Andy Roberts for the Flat Out Juniors in the VW Scirocco. That's one of the few cars on the grid here that you might actually see quite often in real life, at least in Germany. But it doesn't have these beautiful yellow, red and black colors then. And then Flavio Borgna, or I don't know how to pronounce it, Borgna, sorry Flavio, for the Course Racing in 21. Followed by the second of the Sciroccos, David Clark. Still with that little dent in the front, which means he had a little bump in the outlap at the start. David Clark running a little wide here in between turn 1 and 2. Then in 23, Chris Feil for Amy Deggen Racing in the Seat Cupra. also yellow and black, like the flat-out racers, but with a white rear. Ryan Mortimer in the second of the DHR Apex racers in 24 in the Aston Martin. And then last car on the grid at this point, and already, I suppose, down and up, Ian Beach in 25. I suppose this is the Amy Degen racer we saw as he had spun and had to rejoin the track as the first ones were going past right now. And again, a little trouble here for Ian Beach, putting down the force, throttling the car out of the turn. So that's your first rundown here of the race. We have 66 minutes to go, so 24 minutes already done. And for all those who are on a 2 pit stop strategy, the first pit stop might be near, but I suppose most of the guys will be on a 1 stop strategy. All right.
Okay.
So,
let's have the future.
Race control tells me 2 things. Number 1, we are with P2. Number 2, David Garcia is with us. David, my usual question, and possibly your usual answer. How was the outlap? Anything that you noticed on the outlap? Any problems for any of the players, or was it another one of these clean STC starts?
Hello. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Well, don't expect my usual answer tonight, Eckert, because during the warm-up lap we had a couple of yellow flags, and for the info I received from my colleague Vicente Garcia, there was a huge crash in one of the corners. So I would say that some of the cars, at least a couple of cars, are pretty damaged from the start of the race.
Oh dear, oh dear. Yes, this is thank you very much, David. And this is to say we should move the camera to position number 7, 8, 9, and 10, because there is a big battle going on there. Robin Johansson has just been nudged ever so slightly off the track, and he had to rejoin in 12, just behind Marcin Skrzypczak. And we have in 7 Keith Barrick, followed very, very closely by Kevin Ludde. And Keith Porsche is really extremely unstable on the track, so I wonder what's wrong with his Porsche. And Ludde in 8 catching up to him, and both of them are followed by a really close pack here. In 9, Theo Bubicic. In 10, Marcin Skrzypczak making his way up the grid, and at this point attacking Theo Bubicic. Bubicic spinning, Bubicic hitting Skrzypczak. I hope that didn't cause too much damage to Skrzypczak's racer. And now Bubicic is fair game for the first of the Black Visors. Bubicic still followed by the Black Visor racer, couldn't get past. But obviously this is where the big action is on the grid here. We have 6 cars virtually struggling here for position number 9 down. 9 Skrzypczak, 10 Bubicic, 11 Johannes Norberg, 12 Robin Johansson, 13 Christopher Larsson, and then 14 Rami Kaukola, bringing up the rear of this hugely interesting groups, because we have all different makes of racers here, virtual racers, and also all different kinds of racer personalities from what we have followed so far in the STC seasons. Marcin Skrzypczak, he's one of the guys who is really pushing to the outer limit, even if from time to time that means he has to go off the track just a little. Theo Bubicic, extremely fast guy. But it seems that Aston Martin maybe was not the best choice. And now we have an attack by Christopher Larsson. And Robin Johansson pulling in there in T1, giving Christopher Larsson a little touch, and that means Kaukola tries to take advantage of this situation. Kaukola now making a move on Larsson. Larsson defending. They're side by side, and now Kaukola has just managed to squeeze past. Let's see if Larsson tries to attack him straight away. No, he doesn't. But Kaukola is running wide, so Larsson is on the inside now. But Kaukola manages to get some grip there. So battles all over the place in this part of the race here. And now Larsson has to... Yes, there was a bit of a driving mistake, I think, there. Kaukola crossing his line. Larsson had to go off the throttle and didn't quite manage to hold the line he wanted to. So he has to draw back a little. But in position number 11, we have Johannes Norberg still trying to make that move on Theo Bubicic. And Bubicic really has his hands full here with that midget of a racer, the Ultima, in his rearview mirrors. You can't really say it's really big in his rearview mirrors because that racer simply is not big, but he's giving him a hard time. He certainly is. That huge Aston Martin here trying to defend its position against the Ultima. Theo Bubicic for the Black Visor Motorsports, now in the virtual slipstream, and now he might make a move. And he's made a move, and it was not exactly the best move. There was, I think, a little lag in the brake zone, at least on my PC screen. The Ultima racer of the Black Visor team there did just a little jump, and that little jump put him into Theo Bubicic's Aston Martin, and Bubicic spun and is now down to 14. At least from my position, it looked as if there was no driving mistake, but it was a technical glitch here that caused this little crash. This means that we now have Johannes Norberg in 10, we have Marcin Skrzypczak in 9, and Skrzypczak is fast moving up to Kevin Ludde and to Keith Barrick, who are busy fighting, and this gives Skrzypczak maybe the opening that he's been waiting for. Ludde and Skrzypczak are fighting for position 8 and 7 here. Sorry, Ludde and Keith Barrick are fighting, and Skrzypczak at this moment still holding back a little, still waiting what's happening there. Ludde putting an awful amount of pressure on Keith Barrick for the last 2 or 3 laps. He just can't find a spot to move past. And Skrzypczak has moved up, and Skrzypczak might take advantage of this situation. And now, Skrzypczak making a move, Skrzypczak touching Ludde, Keith Barrick in turn touching Skrzypczak, and Ludde going off the track. Again, lag might have been causing this, but Ludde has been off the track. Ludde rejoins in 10. Yes, David?
Yeah. We had already Ludovic Cogotti and Gaëten Legastelois from Project D. They both visit the pit already.
Oh, do you think that that points to a two-stop strategy?
Well, not sure. Maybe one short stint with soft and a longer one with hard could be an option as well.
Yep. So the outcome of that little tangle we just saw on the screen is that Marcin Skrzypczak is now up to 5 for the Roaring Pipes Maniacs, coming from the back of the field. And Keith Barrick is in 6th with a dented front. And Rami Kaukola, the second of the RPM racers, in the white RPM racer, is in 7th. So the Roaring Pipes Maniacs really showing a superb performance here, fighting the odds and doing a brave fight indeed. And Robin Johansson, by all this back and forth, has been moved back up to position number 8 for the Danielsson Motorsport Virtual, and he's still fighting a big battle with Blue Flag's Christopher Larsson.
Okay. Next we have Gregory Degreef in pit.
Alright, so that's the Black Rebels first one. You're obviously not giving away your team strategy, aren't you, David?
No, of course don't.
David, come on, be a sport.
Well, we are going for a four stops strategy.
Okay. Now another little touch here. Touch of Christopher Larsson on Robin Johansson. Don't know if it was on your screen, because I don't exactly know.
It was.
It was brilliant. And so, little touch there, and Christopher Larsson, the moment he noticed that he in fact had given this little touch to Robin Johansson, he drew back, waited, and that gave Kevin Ludde the chance to move past both of them, and he now is in 7. Johansson stays in 8, and Christopher Larsson in fact is moved down to 9, but that was of course gentleman racing, waiting for Johansson to rejoin the track properly, and opening up the gap of course along the way for Ludde. And players seem to suffer a little from lag today, and that might make close racing just that little bit difficult.
Okay, guys, we had Johannes Norberg from Black Bison Motorsports for second time at pit. He went for the first time, I think, to repair all the damage he had in the hit with Theo Bubicic, and well, I am not sure why he visited the pit for second time.
Yeah, might be a problem with the pit engine. We know that either you push the wrong button and bingo, you're already in the pits and you can't change it anymore, or sometimes GTR Evo does have this problem with the pit button, much more so than R-Factor does. So we've had complaints of some of the drivers that they had problems actually choosing the correct pit that they wanted. And now I suppose we are with the race leader, Roland Ehnström, for the Black Visor Motorsports 1, and he is having one of these I'm all alone up here in front races, and it looks as if his strategy is the perfect one for today for this track, because there is a considerable gap opening up in seconds between Ehnström and the rest of the field. I'm quickly off to check the timing. It's 10 seconds between Ehnström and second positioned Ludde Andersson. So that is what I call a really sizable gap, and it certainly shows the quality of Roland Ehnström here, that coming from position number 3, already in the first or second lap he took the lead, and now he's doing his race basically, and Andersson in position number 2 for the Danielsson Motorsports, followed in 3 by Degreef's Marcin Skrzypczak for the Roaring Pipes Maniacs. So we have the 2 teams that were leading the table after race number 1. They are now in positions number 1, 2 and 3. This is very, very bad news indeed for DSR Sincraft and their lone racer Keith Barrick out there. David, Keith Barrick, has he been to the pits already?
I don't think so. Eckhart.
Okay.
I can't confirm it, but I think he have done 0 stops at the moment.
Okay, good. I'm pretty sure that Roland Ehnström hasn't done a single stop so far, and knowing the way he can handle a virtual racer, he's going to be very soft on his tires, and so he's going to be able to do possibly the perfect strategy. And also, if I check his racer, there's not the tiniest little bit of virtual scratch on it. It looks as if it's just rolled out of the DMS paint shop studio, and a nice paint job they did with that sea monster there on the side. I had an interesting exchange of mails with their team manager because I said wolf last time to that monster they have on the side there. It's in fact it's a sea. It's a monster in a lake. Or well, supposed to be in a lake, something like the Loch Ness monster, just a Swedish version of it. Or maybe more than Beowulf and Grendel, really, from Anglo-Saxon literature. So don't mistake it for a wolf.
I don't know, but is not the dragon the Viking boats had in the front?
Sorry, what was that again?
If it's not the dragon, the Viking ships used to have in the front. I mean, sounds logical to me as they are Scandinavian.
Yes, but he was giving me some tale of a lake that the team owner lived next to or something along those lines, if I remember correctly. Forgot to print out the mail. Sorry, Jon Westerlund. And it was all about a lake and a monster and... But you're of course right. It certainly invites comparison to the dragon sitting at the prow of the Viking ships, and just as the Vikings were all over the place in showing their competition what it was all about, that's what Danielsson are doing here, though of course in a much more peaceful and friendly manner. Gentlemen driving. So, the big action on the track we find again where Peter Kull is. That guy is having a hell of a race. Peter Kull in 8 for the Danielsson Motorsports, and he has Kevin Ludde all over his back. Ludde is trying left, trying right, but there's absolutely no way he can't get past that BMW Z4. And behind these two, it's the Gaëten Legastelois and Ludovic Kogoti doing what Project D did last season, running in style too wide. They're very often very close together. Now we see a brilliant move here by Gaëten Legastelois. He's just squeezing past Peter Kull, using all the strength of his virtual Ford Saline and squeezing past the much smaller BMW, taking advantage there, and he's now up to 9, Kull in 10, and Kogoti in 11. While just in front of them we have Theo Bubicic in that tricky Aston Martin defending against Kevin Ludde. I mean, poor Kevin Ludde. Once he's gotten past one racer, he's stuck again, and now he's touching Bubicic, and Ludde touches Bubicic. Bubicic is out. That was in the brake zone there, one of the most tricky brake zones. Approaching this turn where actually the apex then means you are again going downhill. And Bubicic drops down to 12. He won't be too happy about that. Ludde hits him in the brake zone, and Bubicic is down to 12, which means we have another racer moving up the grid, and that is Marcin. He is up to 11 in the course racing Mosler. Great job by him, and he is now putting the pressure on Kogoti.
A little note about the fight we have seen some seconds ago between the French drivers and Peter Kull, and in my opinion, I think we have seen the difference from the guys that already made his first pit stop with new and fresh tires, like Gregory Degreef or Gaëten Legastelois, against the drivers that are still on track with maybe hard tires and wasted tires. So there is a big difference in the pace they can keep at this point of the race.
Yes, but if we are still following Peter Kull, this guy is doing a heck of a job defending against these massive Salines. I mean, it's not only that your rear view mirror is full of them, but I don't know, for those of you who've played the mod, it's the sound of the Salines. They're all over you. If you have, I have a very poor sound system, but even on that, it is absolutely impressive. You feel as if that Saline is sitting, you know, like 10 centimeters behind your head or 1 foot behind you. And it's outstanding, it's breathtaking. But now Kogoty has made his move, now he's passed, and I totally agree with you, David. It's probably down to these guys having fresh tires. So even with a full virtual tank, the fresh tires actually give them the edge over Peter Cole here, who hasn't done his first pit stop yet.
Yeah, I am pretty sure now. If we could switch to P6, we have again a fight between the Z4 and the Corvette and the Mustang. We have the two faces of the coin, Eckart, because the cars looking later will take less time to refuel, as they will need less fuel at this point, and they will get better tires at the end of the race.
Yeah, but at this point they're suffering. Look at poor Robin Johansson. He has these massive American machines all over the place, and he has to let them pass. They were 3 wide going into T1. He was doing what he can in an extremely decent manner, at least from my view. Extremely fair racing here by Robin Johansson. And but these huge American beasts just sailed past on their fresh tires, didn't they? So very interesting racing here for positions, I would say 5 to 10. Where at the top, top teams, we're not following your races so much. They're doing a brilliant job up there, but it just means that there's not so much action. It's more like Formula 1 at the beginning of the field, and this looks like touring car racing in the middle of the field, doesn't it, David?
Yeah, totally agree. We have really tight fights. Eckart, we have Rami fitting in right now.
Yep.
And Marcin Skrzypczak, both RPM cars. They have done a hell of a job recovering all that position in the race, Eckart.
And we had Roland Ehnström in the pit as well, and we have missed that, but no problem, because he's down to 2. And with a huge gap to Ludde Andersson. So Ludde Andersson is, at least on my paper, he is about to pit in, I would say, one of the next few laps. Because if Ehnström, with his very soft tire-saving way of driving, at least that's the way I see him drive from the lines that he takes. And if he has done his pit stop now, Andersson should be in any minute.
The question is, Eckart, when Ludde Andersson gets on pit and makes his pit stop, what difference will we have with P3? Because the fact of having fresh tires during 10 laps or even more than your oppositor can make you recover a lot of time. We have Ludde on pit right now.
Oh, brilliant. Let's then stick with Ludde. Let's have let's have the camera on Ludde Andersson. Let's simply follow his pit stop so we can then see where he rejoins the track. And the guy to watch in 3 is Gregory Degreef of the Black Rebels. And so he is the one to look out for. Andersson still in the pits. And we'll possibly... Oh! He's pitting right in front of my ride. Hi, Ludde. And we will then possibly see the number 1 change to number 2 at this point, because Roland Ehnström has gone past. And let's watch him exit the pits. Cars down, tires on the tarmac, and he's down to 3. He's in fact down to 3, which he's down to 4. He's down to 4, which means that he's down to 5. Oh my goodness, that means Ludovic Kogoty, Gaëten Legastelois, and also Gregory Degreef all these three racers have passed him. But that's going to be hugely amusing last 20 minutes, because when, again, these guys have been pitting earlier, and I have the sneaking suspicion that the makeup of these American racers puts a tiny bit more pressure on the tires. So they might be having problems in the last laps of the race, might they not, David?
Well, I agree with you, Eckhart. I think you are right. If they had an advantage getting earlier on pit at this point of the race, the one getting the advantage at the end, it will be Ludde Andersson, because he will be in better tires. So,
yep.
So it will be very interesting to see the final laps of the race.
Yep, so with most of the pit stops done, let me give you a quick update. I'm in the timing screen here on my computer of the time differences. It's Ehnström in 1, and he's 8 seconds in front of Gregory Degreef for the Black Rebels. Then 2.5 seconds down, Gaëten Legastelois. Another 4 seconds down, Ludovic Kogotti. And then Ludde Andersson 2 seconds down to Ludovic. Marcin Skrzypczak for the Roaring Pipes Maniacs, and this now is the sad news. He is in 6th, which is a brilliant result, but he's down 40 seconds to the race leader. So there's absolutely no way he's going to catch up on these guys up there in front. Let's see how far he gets. He is an outstanding, awesome racer, so he might actually make a little headway there. But 40 seconds, let's face it, that is a long way to go in a race of which only 40 minutes are left. Keith Barrick in 7, DHR at least taking home some points there. Rami Kaukola in 8, and Kevin Ludde for the Black Rebels in 9, and rounding off the top 10, Christopher Larson for the Blue Flag Racers. He is in the top 10 and 1 minute and 6 seconds down. There are still 18 racers in 1 lap, and if I see this correctly, there are still 23 racers in the race, and right now pitting it's Flavio Borgna for the Corsa Racing. So the team here doing the broadcast has decided we'll give you a bit more of the people racing more at the back of the grid, because they're very important for the STC too. Imagine just the first 4 top teams here on the grid. Things would be, well, not colorless, but a bit lifeless. So let's talk about the guys who are doing their race more towards the back of the grid. And pitting right now, for example, is Ian Beach. He's down 3 laps for Amy Degan Racing in the Seat Cupra. The Cupra was the sensation of the early mod, because there was obviously a little problem, made the racer much too fast, about a second faster. In this second version now, that mistake has been corrected, and the Cupra is basically on a par with the other racers. Beach out of the pits in 23. And last position, followed there by, I think, Theo Bubicic for the DHR Apex. And he's now basically trying to get back into the rhythm, back into the swing. And so Ian Beach still with us, and still fighting here for position number 23 at the moment. One thing, I'm one of the guys who's also way at the back of the grid. One thing about the STC is the quality of the overall gameplay of the people playing here. Usually you can pick up a few positions because people drop places due to, you know, leaving the track, stuff like that. But in the STC, that thing simply doesn't happen. You stay in 23 forever and ever and ever because nobody drops out. Isn't that so, David?
Yes, exactly. The drivers at STC respect a lot. I mean, they act like if they were racing a real event. And I was thinking as well, Eckhart, about the hard work you have when you are in the back of the pack, when you need to let the faster cars go by and respect the blue flags. It's a quality field, I think.
Yep, it certainly is. And these blue flags, they keep on getting in the way of your rhythm. I mean, every time, if you're in the back of the grid, every time, at least me, you've reached something like, 2 laps, 3 laps, you're in your rhythm, everything's going fine. You have these 2 or 3 races coming up. And even though they're very good about it in the STC, they don't really make you move away. They're waiting for a place to get past. But still, you have these blue flags on the screen. You feel kind of uncomfortable about it. And you're liable to make a little mistake or two trying to deal with that problem. Beach now on his way back to the pits. There must have been something wrong with the first pit stop. It looked like a stop and go to me, actually. So let's leave Ian Beach for the moment. Let's focus on Andy Roberts, one of the newer racers here with the Flat Out Juniors in the VW and the VW Scirocco. And he's in 22 and still going strong. Unfortunately, the course racer you see there in front of him is a lap up, so they're not fighting for a position here. Andy Roberts is doing what you quite often do in the back of the field, obviously having a rather lonely race. But remember, the Flat Out Juniors, they only had, the Flat Out Club only had 9 points after the first race, so every point he gets here is worth a lot for the team and also for the team spirit in the team. It really feels good to bring those points back home after 1.5 hours here with this mod. And while we're at it, let's stay with Flavio Borgna, who is in 20 for course racing. They replace, Italian team they are, they replace the team Gigi from France, my friends Sébastien Poidevin and all the other guys there, who've done some great races at the STC in the years, but they decided that they rather follow other series, are engaged in different classes, so they decided to drop out, and it was great that we found a good replacement for them, because Team Course, they were not really lucky in the first race, but they're doing a good job tonight. Both cars still going strong. Borgna here in 20 in the Mosler. He's currently down the front straight, and let's move up the grid to position number 5, where there's a big fight. And then we can see where the other of the course racers is. We have Nigel Atkins in 18 being lapped by exactly the guys that are fighting for position. Adam Shaw in 17, hot on the heels of my mate Mikael Larsson for the Blue Flag Racing in 16. Johannes Norberg in the second Ultima in 15. Massimo Martin, there he is, second of the course races, 14. That's going to give them a big number of points, way better than the 0 points they had in the first race. So congratulations, if they can bring it home. Congratulations to Team Course from me. 13, Peter Koh. 12, Theo Bubicic. 11, Robin Johansson. 10, Christopher Larsson. Still in the top 10 there for the blue flag. 9, Kevin Ledoux, dropped down a little. 8, Rami Kaukola, still chasing Keith Barrick in 7 for the DHR Simcraft. In 6, Marcin Skrzypczak. And then we have the battle for 5, 4 and 3. And just now, Ludde Andersson has in fact passed the Project D racers. He is now in 3 and he is trying to catch up to Gregory Degreef for the Black Rebels. And look at that distance he puts between his Ford GT40 and the Salines there. That is a lot of distance, imagining that he has just overtaken the second of the Project D racers half a lap ago. David, quick guess from you, your teammate, will he be caught by Ludde Andersson? I will quickly go to the timing screen and tell you how much time Ludde has left.
Sorry, repeat your question, Eckhart.
Yeah, well, Ludde Andersson is on the way to catch Gregory Degreef of the Black Rebels. Will he be able to do it? He has 30 minutes to go. And, well, he's not within striking distance at this point, but do you think he'll actually close the gap? We can see Gregory Degreef in front there. He should be about 8 seconds or so away.
Yes, I was checking the lap times because at this point is the important data. And I don't see a big difference in the lap times between the both drivers. So at this point I am not sure if Ludde will be able to catch Gregory. But we should wait a bit when the tire wear is gone, especially for Gregory that pitted in really early. Then we will see that difference that maybe can bring Ludde ahead.
Yep, and I saw something really interesting at the back of my screen. The Project D is pitting again. Ludovic Kogoti, we have him in the pits here. It's either a stop and go. No, we have both Project D in the pits again. That means that the RPMs are gaining positions. Marcin Skrzypczak up to 4. Rami Kaukola up to 5. And the Project D, they are down. They're still in the pits. Legastelois in 6, Kogoti in 7. Let's see how long they stay there. Ooh, this is bad. Bad news for them. So that means that they do have a tire problem here on this track. Legastelois, he's powering out of the pits, followed very closely by Kogoti. They're down to 7 and 8, which is fair enough. They're down to 8 and 9 now. Somebody just passed them, and that somebody is Robin Johansson. They're in fact down to 9 and 10 as I'm speaking. It wasn't only Johansson who passed them. So Kogoti in 10 now, and Legastelois in 9. But now they are on fresh tires. And so they have a two-stop strategy. It will be so interesting to see how that figures out at the end of the race. So for the first time here, David, we see what we wanted to see with the STC mod. More of a play with the strategies, don't we?
Yes, exactly. That, by the way, Eckhart, we have Gregory Degreef at pit as well.
Oh no. So bad luck for your team, really. That means that Ludde is back in position number 2 without a fight.
Yeah, exactly. And Marcin is possibly getting a podium finish after starting the race in latter position.
Amazing. And after all this pitting, Christopher Larsson of the Blue Flags is up in 7. That is, of course, news that makes my heart jump a little. Listen, bump, bump. So, well, up in 7, and he's followed in 8 by Robin Johansson, who has a lot of trouble keeping these American beasts behind him, and Legastelois has already passed him. Legastelois is now in 8, and aiming for Christopher Larsson. Geez, we have fights all over the place tonight, don't we, David?
Yes, we are having, as you say, more like a touring car race than a GT race. At the beginning of the event, I have been talking with the RPM guys in the briefing, and we have been joking a bit about the traffic and the action they will get during the race, starting in that positions. And man, that couldn't be more truth.
Yep. And Legastelois now past Christopher Larsson. That was a quick one. So Legastelois on the new tires is definitely on a prowl here. Let's see how far he gets. Legastelois in 7th. Christopher Larsson in 6th. Now under attack from Robin Johansson. I think they're both Swedes. Ooh, Johansson doing a bit of a slide there, which gives Ludovic Kogarty a chance to attack. But Johansson taking a defensive line here. So Kogarty has no chance to move fast. Now Johansson makes a move on Larsson. Let's see if he can. No, he can't pull it off. Larsson sticks to his line, defends perfectly here against Johansson, so he stays in position number 8, while Johansson is in 9. And then in 10 we have Ludovic Kogarty for the Project D. Great racing by Kogarty here. Johansson was moving on the inside again, and Kogarty pulled back. Don't know if you've seen that on your screen. It was perfectly executed, so as not to touch Johansson. He was sticking to his line, fair enough. Kogarty relinquished the slight advantage he had in speed and let Johansson keep his line. Now approaching T1, Johansson makes a move on Larsson. Nope, he doesn't. Seems to be really difficult to make that move there in T1, but now he does it in T2. Now he tries to do it in T2. Larsson overshooting in T3. Johansson is on the outside now. Larsson still defending on the inside. Some breathtaking racing here, and Kogarty is taking advantage. Kogarty is now on the inside. It's a left-hand turn, the next one. Larsson already on a fighting line, trying to ward off Kogarty. Johansson making a move on the inside. Jeez! Look at that. Look at that. With that tiny BMW, he makes a move. And he can put it off. He can put it off. He is in 7th. Robin Johansson, hats off. That was a stunner, wasn't it? Amazing. But Kogarty must be so mad. He must be so mad. He thought he had Larsson, and bingo, here's another Swede coming up in that tiny green BMW and stealing that position he has just gained. So Kogarty, I suppose, is going to do something. Little touch here. Going to do something in the next laps.
I think Robin Johansson already thinks that he have a sticker with a Mustang in his mirror, you know.
Yep. I think for the next 2 or 3 days he can't see neither blue nor white nor red. And if there's anything French, he's not going to touch French wine or French cheese for the rest of the week. While obviously Kogarty, if he has any of that IKEA furniture at home, he's not going to fit in it.
I know it's not simulated probably, but I don't know if in real life a Mustang can take the slipstream of a Z4.
Yep. I don't know. But you made a heck of a job. Günther Rohr, if you're watching this, look at how perfectly you balance the racers. It's amazing. They have different pros and cons, so to speak, but at the end of the day, they're pretty much the same.
By the way, Eckhart, let me tell you, we had Kevin Ludde for second time at pit as well, so now you know the TBR strategy. We were going for two stopper.
Right. And let's see how it pays off at the end of the day. You were in position number 2 at the start with Gregory Degreef, and Ludde, I think, was in 12 or 13 or something. But while we're talking about your pit strategy, Johansson's BMW is being nibbled at by Ludovic Kogoti. And he is a real gentleman racer, isn't he? Every time he just gets close to that BMW, you can see him pull back ever so slightly, not to spoil the race there for both of them. So very, very close racing here, but also very sensible racing by both racers. And now Johansson in trouble. Can Kogoti take advantage of that? He's on the inside now. Again he's pulling back. Whoa, and Johansson, he just sticks to his lines the way he should, because that's the rule. The guy who has the line sticks to the line. It's for the other guy to do something. And he does that absolutely perfectly. Look at that. They're even gaining a little time on Christopher Larsson, who is a fast racer as well. And even though they're having this close fight, they're gaining on them. Not much, but they're gaining. Right now, I think we should go to the top of the grid again to give the race leader some airtime. Jose, how about that?
Yes, of course. We used to concentrate a lot in the fight. And,
yeah, because that's where the action is.
Really, the guys in the first position are never in the broadcast, but we focus on entertainment.
So 20 minutes to go, and your friendly voice is on the timing screen to give you an update on the time differences. We have a really absolutely impressive lead here by Danielsson Motorsports. Nothing than something like a graphic card crash or anything like that can take the double victory from them, because Ehnström is in front after 37 laps with 20 minutes to go. Ludde Andersson is 18 seconds behind him. And then the gap to Marcin Skrzypczak for the Roaring Pipes Maniacs is 42 seconds compared to Ehnström, which makes it 24 seconds compared to Ludde Andersson. So that is a really, really big gap there. Rami Kaukola for the Roaring Pipes Maniacs in 4, just 3 seconds away from Skrzypczak. So they're doing like the Project D, a team race here. And then Gregory Degreef, after his 2 pit stops, down 1 minute and 6 to Ehnström in 5. And Legastelois, another one who did 2 pit stops, down 1 minute and 17. And he's just now passed Kogoti just now passed Johansson as I'm talking. We still have 13 racers in one lap, with Keith Barrick for the DHR Simcraft being the last one in that lap, and the other racers in that lap are Massimo Martin, Peter Cole, Theo Bubicic, Christopher Larsson and Robin Johansson. And we still have, we still have 22 players in the race. Ian Beach has moved up 1 place because someone or other left the race, but 22 racers still on the grid. That means we have, as usual, pretty stable conditions here provided by thegamehosters.net. Jose, I've been to the timing screen, so I have no idea what the viewers have on their screen. Is it the red, black and white race leader Roland Ehnström?
No, actually it's P3 Martin, and I won't try to pronounce the surname, sorry, Martin, but
I'm going along with Skrzypczak. I'm going along with Skrzypczak.
Okay.
It might be wrong though, but I'm a bit closer to Poland than you are, and I know I studied together with a guy from Poland, so I know a little bit about Polish pronunciation. It's probably wrong though, but I think Skrzypczak probably gets pretty close. So Skrzypczak in 3 and Rami Kaukola, I think he's a Finn, isn't he, from Finland, Suomi. He's in 4 in the white Roaring Pipes Maniac skin here. And Both of them, of course, in the virtual Marcos with the yellow front lights. So, P2 for you, Ludde Andersson. Race Control has just told me that Race Control, David Garcia, actually wants to send some greetings. We don't usually do that, as in greetings to my mom and dad, who have always stuck with me through 25 years of sim racing. But you want to send some greetings, David. Who to?
Well, of course, to all the guys in the chat following the race. I am right now with them, changing some information.
Okay, what's that information you get there? Maybe it's something that the viewers who are not in the chat want to participate in.
You really want to know?
Well, if it's sensible information, yes. If it's the average chat information, no.
Well, as an example, we have your teammate, Mark A. Warmington. He tells me, tell Eka to jinx everyone like Murray Walker.
Well, good old Murray Walker, I'm light years away from him, really light years away. I've never actually caught the guy live on television because he was not in Germany, but I've seen some of the stuff on YouTube because my team pointed me to it, and he's definitely in a class of his own. Just as the Danielsson Motorsport racers are to date, they're doing a heck of a job here. So Mark, better watch that driving by the Danielssons and learn from it.
That was pretty hard, and now with this silence it's even worse.
Yep. So Ludde Andersson, my greetings also to the guys in the chat. Been there, done that. And greetings also go out to Andreas Hultgreen, who should be with me tonight. And Andreas, hope that cable next to your house gets all the attendance it should, and you're back with us in the next race, because I won't be in. I'll be at the back of the grid saying hello to Ian Beach, and we'll be having an awesome fight there. Me in the BMW, him in the Cupra. Ian, I'll be with you at Hockenheim. I couldn't let that German race go past without me participating. So, P1 now, not race control, by broadcast control, so say Estrada tells me. P1, Roland Ehnström, and another breathtaking race, I must say. Kudos and chapeau to Monsieur Ehnström here. Really brilliant racing by him. In two, a second of the Danielssons. They're in for a superb victory here, Ludde Andersson. Seems that they are very happy with their choice of car. In three, Marcin Skrzypczak in the black Roaring Pipes Maniacs Marcos, followed extremely closely by Rami Kaukola. So we have a bit of a Formula One situation here. One team together at the front, and then another team together in 3 and 4. And then Gregory Degreef in 5 for the Black Rebels. He was one of the guys who did 2 pit stops. In 6 after many fights. Gaëten Legastelois for the Project D. And he's just left one of my teammates. And Ludovic Kogotti in 7. So we have another team going here back to back. That's the Project D. Then in 8, Robin Johansson, the man who's not going to drink French wine for the rest of the week because he's had all this trouble with the Project D. In 9, it's Theo Bubicic for the DHR Apex, and I think this is the first fighting group we encounter on the grid. 9 seems to be the magic position in this race, doesn't it, David? We had loads and loads of fights around position number 9. What's so special about the 9?
Yes, I'm not sure what's wrong with this number, but you're right, Eckhart. All the action was in the midfield of the race.
Yep, meaning all the close action, of course. There was, of course, action with 1 and 2 because just putting in these amazing lap times, one by one, that certainly is a lot of action for the guy who's playing the game. But for the viewers at the screen, of course, having many cars battling it out, that is where the action really is, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So in 10, following Bubicic closely, Christopher Larsson, and if he actually sees a BMW Z4 tomorrow on the streets and lets out, I don't know what the Swedish say, if they are really not amused, I can understand him, because first he's had trouble with Johansson, and now it's Peter Kolb who is struggling to get past, and he seems to be on slightly better tires at this stage of the race. I can't quite make out the difference between the races, but I have the feeling that it's more Larsson defending against Kull than Larsson putting pressure on Bubicic. How do you see these three, David? Is it like an even race, or would you follow my suspicion that Larsson is more defending than attacking?
Yes, looks like it, but they are in a very close distance from each other.
Yep,
even Theo Bubicic is really close. So, we can't really know it, Eckhart.
No, we can't. And let's hope that for my team, of course, sorry, Danielsson Motorsport, I must root for my team, it's natural. Let's hope that Christopher can stick to that top 10 position. But right now, coming out of the virtual slipstream, it's Peter Kull, and he's taken the inside line, and they go side by side into turn 2. Larsson touches him a little, but Larsson now is down to 11. We're out of the top 10. Mark, take note of that in the chat. And Peter Kull is up to 10. Let's see if he makes a move on Bubicic, but this I think is the time where we should go down the grid still a little more to show you the action in position number 12 to 13. Jose, should we go down a little more?
Yes, of course. I'm curious about the positions in the back.
Okay, so with 10 minutes or so of the race to go, we have Christopher Larsson in 11, we have Massimo Martin. Oh, that's really close. Massimo Martin, actually quite close to Larsson in 12, so Larsson's 11th place is not exactly in danger, but he looks as if he's going quite strong at the moment, Massimo Martin, and he is being lapped by, let's have a look, Red Racer for Danielsson Motorsports, that's race leader Roland Ehnström, so that's where the lapping is. Martin was the last one in the same lap, and now he's down a lap. Keith Barrick for defending champions DHR Simcraft, down in 13, and his racer looks quite quite battered all over, really, and he's having huge, if I see that correctly, he is indeed having problems keeping the ride on the track. And so he's in 13, and DHI Simcraft are not going to be happy about the outcome of this race. They have a battle on their hands going back up the field in the races to come. Kevin Ludde for the Black Rebels in 14, putting the pressure here on Barrick and his battered Porsche. Then Johannes Norberg for the Black Visor Motorsports in the first of the two Ultimas in 15. And also his ride seems to be very unstable if you see the way he's powering out of the turns. Look at that, it's all over the place, and whoa, amazing driving here by Norberg, the way he catches it, even on the curbs. Well done. Nigel Atkins, his teammate in 16. Mikael Larsson, teammate of Christopher Larsson for the Blue Flag Racing in 17. And a bit out of the action at the moment, it seems. The cars in front of him and behind him are lapping. Yes, David?
Sorry for the interruption. We had a brutal impact from David Clark in one of the protection walls. In the, I think it's the rear straight of the circuit.
Oh dear, that's position number 20 for you guys. And so say, maybe you can point the camera to David Clark. And yes, indeed, his car is well battered in the front, and he has problems taking the turn. Might be that he must pit again. Yes, indeed, that looks terrible.
Yes, he flipped over the roof of the car. I would say he will pit in.
Yes, but on the other hand, he knows on his screen how many minutes to go, doesn't he? And if he's a lap up or down. Let me quickly go to the timing screen. 5 minutes to go. And he is, David Clark, a lap up on Andy Roberts. So maybe he just carries that racer back home in the condition it's in. That's at least what I would do if I were him.
Yeah, possibly this is the wiser decision.
Let's see, he's out, he's now approaching the place where he's about to pit. And he's going down the straight. He's staying out with only 2 laps to go. I think it's a rather wise decision, just as you do, David. So in 20, David Clark, in 21, Andy Roberts, and in 22, still with us, Ian Beach. For Amy Dagon Racing, taking home those points. Race coming to its finish. Guys, what about going to position number 1 and giving the race leader the airtime he deserves?
They're fighting for
okay. Race control tells me there's a big fight for 3 and 4 with the Roaring Pipes Maniacs, so we should watch that for another lap, and then in the final lap go to Roland Ehnström. Skrzypczak, hope that name is correct. Skrzypczak still in 3, and Rami Kaukola still in 4, so Marcin in the black Roaring Pipes Maniacs Racer, and Rami in the white Roaring Pipes Maniacs Racer. And since this is a team affair, it doesn't really matter, apart from their personal interest, who gets the 3rd or the 4th position. The number of points will be the same, and it's quite an impressive haul. Seeing as they came from, I think, 25 and 22 in the original lineup on the grid. That is really by far the best they could have done. They would have been contenders for the overall win, wouldn't they, David, with a race like that?
Yes, it's impressive. And Eckhart, it was even worse. They started the race from positions 25 and 26. They were last.
Oh my goodness. All the way down. Yep. And in the free training, Kaukola was second. He was only passed by Andersson on, one of the last 1 or 2 laps. So Kaukola really was not quite the fastest, but almost the fastest guy here on the grid. But it looks to me as if they have settled into 3 Skrzypczak, 4 Kaukola. So let's move up to that race leader, so we won't miss him going over the start and finish line. Ehnström, and is that already his last lap?
No, I think he will do another lap.
Yep, so do I. 2 minutes to go. So Ehnström on the second to last lap. Let's quickly give you an update on those fights we've seen. Christopher Larsson still in 11, Massimo Martin still in 12, so he hasn't gotten past yet. And also Kevin Ludde in 13, Keith Barrick in 14. Ludde has in fact passed the DHR Simcraft Racer, so down to 14 Barrick, and that points to a Porsche that is really utterly battered up. But race leader Roland Ehnström here, taking us through the track again. It's uphill here, then a left-hander, and you can see here the orange extra curbs. That's the curbs that our modder put in here for the track. I actually wanted to do an interview with him tonight, but sorry, dear modder out there, I was so caught up in real life in the week that I literally had no time to get through to you. We'll possibly do that interview in one of the later races. Sorry about that, but we'll come back to you. Another great track conversion here, another great change to the track. He added, of course, the STC colors, the STC logos everywhere, and then also some of all the orange extra curbs you can see, which are really high. They're liable to turn your car over if you go over them. Like this one here in T3, they have been put in to assure that we have ultra fair racing all over the place. Ehnström now passed his Danielsson Motorsport teammate there. It's the white racer for Danielsson Motorsports 2, so that means it's Robin Johansson. And Ehnström now in what I would call the infield here of the track. A very quick right-hander here before you have another really difficult turn, at least for somebody like me. That's a difficult one. It's uphill and it's got a really strange apex. Then downhill again. And it looks as if Danielsson Motorsports are all set and ready to take home the maximum number of points, which will of course give them the lead in the table, because they were 1 point down to the Roaring Pipes Maniacs before the race. They will be, I think, if I have figured this out correctly, they will gain 5 points here if the result stays like that. Anybody correct me please if that is wrong, which would put them 4 points ahead of the Maniacs in the overall table. Ehnström now out onto the start and finish straight, and we're watching to see if he gets the black and white flag. He is racing very close to the barrier, so that means he has won the race. The PC takes over and look what it's done. He has won the race. Congratulations to Roland Ehnström here on an absolutely superb performance. Ludde Andersson is in 2. Marcin Skrzypczak still out on the track in 3. And I just saw in the back that my teammate Christopher Larsson could defend his position against that course racer there. And now we actually have a fight here. Kaukola. Or do they want to do a neck-by-neck photo finish in 3 and 4? Kaukola on the inside line against Skrzypczak, but Skrzypczak takes it home in 3 on the podium, while Kaukola stays in 4. In 5 and 6 we have the next pair. It's Gaëten Legastelois in 5 and Gregory Ludovic Kogoti, sorry mate, in 6. So Legastelois takes it home for the Project D here. Finishes the race in 5, Legastelois in 6, Gregory Degreef in 7 for the Black Rebels. That means Robin Johansson is still out on the track in 8 for the Danielsson Motorsport 2. And I think at this point we can already look forward to very interesting interviews in half a minute. Race is over, the second race of the season is over, and we'll be back with you with the interviews in half a second. This is the Swedish anthem for the winning team, Danielsson Motorsport Virtual. They take home a double victory, and here's your anthem, mates. So, interview time as usual, and I can see that the race winners are with me now in the red room, so congratulations to the podium. We actually have, if I'm not mistaken, 4 guys with me here. That's the complete lineup for the Danielsson Motorsports 1, and the race winner, Roland Ehnström. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Roland, quick word about the race. Your qualifying wasn't quite as it was supposed to be, was it?
No, I made a stupid mistake. I was way too nervous in qualifying. I was too careful in the first corners. I felt I was losing speed and I was losing my confidence, and then I pushed a little bit too hard on the exit of a corner and caught the gravel. So that was 1 second slower than my personal best. So very lucky to be third still on the grid.
All right, and then very quickly you went past your teammate Ludde Andersson. Was that basically part of the strategy, or did it just turn out at that point that you were so much faster that Ludde let you past?
Yeah, first of all, I passed a Corvette which was lagging very heavily on the first lap. He was the car was jumping back and forth, so I had no idea where it was. I think there was some contact, but really I couldn't do anything about it because his car was all over the track. After that, I was on a different strategy from Ludde, so we had a plan for this, and it worked perfectly. That's
what it looked like from our position. So, Ludde Andersson, Another great race for you here, your second race in the Sim Racing Team Challenge, and you find yourself on the podium. Is it your second podium?
Yes, yes, thank you. Yes, it is my second podium.
So, how was the last race?
Now, last race I finished third, and this time I was behind Ehnström, as usual.
Right, so yeah, so third, second. Do we see a win from you in the next race at Hockenheim?
I hope so, but I'm not sure if it's me that are going to race.
All right. A little word about your race. Were you surprised to take the pole position, or did you expect? Did you really expect to be up there?
Every time I'm in front of Roland, I'm surprised. So I made a few mistakes myself in the qualifying. I was very nervous too. My foot was jumping and so on. So I was very happy to be up front.
Okay. And now it's over to the Roaring Pipes Maniacs guys. You guys had to start from the back of the grid. Marcin, can you give us a few impressions of your way up the grid? And you ended up in 3. It's breathtaking.
It was very difficult on start because I have to overtake a few cars. And during the race that was a little laggy and that was some hidden contacts that I'm sorry, but it was laggy like hell. And when I come to the third position, just bring it home.
Yeah, that's what it looked like from the outside as well. So once you had basically settled in, you found a perfect rhythm and then could just take down lap after lap after lap with almost the same lap times that the Danielsson guys had. So really, if you had a chance to start from the positions you deserve on the grid, we would have seen a fight with the Danielssons, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I think so, because both with Rami we was shooting and 41 on quali, so probably will be a fight to the DMS.
So, too bad. Rami, from your position, did you have any serious problems getting to position number 4, or was it a fair fight through the field?
Yes, I got first lap, a really big problem. I got a black screen and it took 20 seconds, so I was dead last. So then I tried to follow Marcin and he took me 4th place. Thank you, Marcin.
That's amazing teamwork, the Roaring Pipes Maniacs. Really nice note to finish our broadcast on. A big thank you again to everybody on the podium and also to Rami Kaukola. Big thank you to all the other racers, of course.
Thank you.
And congratulations to the winners. Thank you.
Thank you to a very strong race from the back.
Thank you, Marcin, for that nice song there. We now have Massimo Martin with us. Yes. Massimo Martin of the Course Racing Team. Massimo, you scored your first points in the STC. How does it feel?
Oh, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Thank you, guys. We have...
Yes, you're back with us. Yeah, you were in the wrong room for a moment, but now you're back. Massimo, how does it feel?
I'm very happy. I'm saying that I had more fight with more cars. I can't remember all the drivers that passed me, and but it was funny, and I have some good fight with correct drivers. I have some contact with a BMW and another cars that at the moment I can't remember, and I hope that it go well.
Yeah, we have a history here in the STC of not having too many complaints, so usually we put it down to racing, don't we?
Okay.
So, not to worry there. Thank you, Course, for entering the championship.
Thank you guys. We are very happy for the first.
Adesso in italiano, Massimo, per la prensa italiana.
Va bene. Niente, sono molto contento di essere finito nei primi 15, aver preso qualche punto probabilmente. Ho avuto parecchi duelli con Porsche, BMW, è stata dura perché alla fine le gomme lasciavano veramente ad andare sui cerchi, però siamo divertiti. Alla fine la macchina teneva bene, il setup era buono, un po' lenta nel dritto, però nel misto andavamo veramente bene. Grazie ragazzi.
Grazie Massimo.
Well, I got the last one, so grazie Massimo from me too.
Ok, grazie a voi.
Well,
Ciao.
big thanks as usual to Jose and to David who make this all happen. Thank you guys.
Thanks to you always, Eckhart.
Yes, thanks for a brilliant work again.
And this is a warm and happy bye-bye from me. It was a great race to watch, at least from my position. See you at Hockenheim with somebody else in the red room speaking to you, because I will be out there on the grid struggling to get the BMW back home. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Eckhart. We hope to interview you in Hockenheim in the top 3.
Exactly.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.